Okay, it is going. Cool.
Very good.
So, hello, I'm Eric Morris, and I'm with Arizona State University as a student, and I'm doing a partnerships thing for a class that deals with partnerships for mostly nonprofits, but in this case they said anybody that deals with partnerships in education. So, thank you for the time for taking your time for this interview. So that's cool. And please just go ahead and share your name and organization and your actual title.
Okay, so my name is Liz Gershon, and I am with the Little Rock Air Force Base Library, which is part of the Air Force Library Program, and I am a library technician.
Okay, cool. And then, so if you can, share an overview of any of the partnership that you're thinking about the most and why it was created.
So the partnership that I thought I would speak on is we work with the University Center on the base. And it's created mostly because we have materials that are available to help the students who are testing. So it's a natural bond. You know, the University Center has students that they want to get, passing their CLEPs and their DSSTs as well as their other classes. And we have the study materials, the, study rooms. We have the things available to help their students achieve.
Nice. And then actually that kind of leads into how the partnership advances the mission of your organization.
So our organization is the Air Force, and the mission is to support the Air Force in all that they do, and helping our enlisted members and our officers achieve their educational goals is part of the mission. So we're here to help with that, and that's how our bond with the Education Center works.
Cool. Right on. And I have used it myself. All right. So forming partnerships. So what type of partnerships have you formed?
Well, we work closely with with Amy, who's in the Education Center, and we sometimes go over there and give little tiny elevator talks about what the library is and what we have available.
Amy, what is that exactly?
Amy Thompson. She is
okay.
A lady who works in the Education Center.
I don't know if that was an acronym or not.
No.
All right, cool. And then what in the organization forms a partnership? Does it create formal? Let's see here. When your organization forms a partnership, does it create a formal partnership agreement?
No, because we're part of the 19th FSS, so Force Support Squadron, and the University Center is a portion of our squadron.
Okay.
So there wouldn't be a formal partnership agreement like there would be if we were dealing with an outside organization. So we're dealing still with the the education portion of Force Support Squadron. So we're part of FSDL, then they are as well.
Okay. So no memorandums of understanding or anything. Okay. It's one team, one fight.
That's right.
All right, cool. So
from the cradle to the grave, we're supporting the mission.
Cool. And then, how does your organization organize and finalize the partnership agreements, whether it's formal agreement or not?
Because it is really formal, I think we just finalize it by supporting each other, getting each other what we need to complete our mission. I help her with tutor.com stuff. She helps me with sending airmen over here to their CLEPs. So, we work collaboratively.
Cool. And then the third subject with a bunch of questions within it. So, management and communication. How is the partnership managed? How are your partnerships managed?
So, our library director, Beth Becker, is the librarian in charge, and so she deals with formal things that would need to be done between us and the University Center. So when they need one of us to go over there for the elevator speech, she makes sure that the staff's available to do so.
Cool.
So that's she's our person that helps us keep in contact.
Yeah, communication's everything.
Yep.
So please describe a few of the challenges that your organization has faced during its partnerships, and how have they overcome those challenges?
I think challenges as far as the military is concerned, it's, we don't always have the staff available to go necessarily out of the building to, give our little speech, or, we may not have the materials. We have a certain place that we order our Club VSST from. That may not necessarily be what the education center thinks we should order. So sometimes there's little, challenges, but Ms. Becker is the librarian with 30 years experience in collection development and ordering materials, so she usually, explains this is why we vetted this stuff, this is why we've ordered it, this is, how it supports your tests. So
Nice. That's good to hear. Do you have a communication plan?
I'm not sure what that means.
I guess it would mean something like your communication plan is basically a follow-through plan if something doesn't happen. So to me, I am very persistent. Yeah, pick up the phone.
We would pick up the phone and
All
just
right.
call and say,
Yes,
hey.
yes, that's where I'm at. Yeah, persistence, right? Perseverance on the communicating, face-to-face meetings. Yeah. So, how do you communicate with partners? Does your organization use email? Oh, I'll talk about that. Email,
Yes.
newsletters, websites, conference calls, or any other tools?
Well, we use email.
Right.
And, for a while everyone was using Teams, but that's done with now as of yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So, for us it's mostly email or picking up the phone and calling.
Conference calls? Calls?
Not so much. I mean, we have, meetings because, again, we're part of FSDL. We're part of that part of the Force Support Squadron, so sometimes we're in meetings with them, but not
all the time. Websites? Is there a website? Yeah.
We have a Facebook page and then, of course, there's the Rockin' at the Rock page.
Right.
But we aren't responsible for that. That's marketing.
Okay, cool. And then theme number 4, work plans and activities. How do you evenly distribute the work within the partnership?
Well, they have a set role and we have our set role. So
Okay.
We don't usually overlap. We have our focus with, materials and resources, and they have their focus of handing out the tests. So we're not going to proctor any of their exams, and they're not going to check out any items. So we keep it pretty separate.
Right, and that actually goes in, do you establish work plans to break down specific tasks? And that answers that question. What is your strategy to hold people accountable? Within the partner shop, not your people you're handing stuff out to.
And we have a whole system for that too.
Right.
It's that personal relationship. We know them, they know us, and they don't want to let us down because that would interfere with their goal, and we don't want to let them down because the mission is important to us. That's why we're here.
Right.
We don't support it, but they'll just get rid of us.
Reasonable. Okay. Right.
The Air Force giveth, the Air Force taketh away.
Right. There's definitely a reason right there. Right. So, all right. Cool. So the next one is has the partnership created measurable outcomes?
I am certain. I know from our circulation, of course, them suggesting people come over and check out Club and DSST. We do see an uptick when they've scheduled classes. I can tell what the classes are, the tests they've scheduled, because we have airmen that come in and check out those materials. And I don't know. I'm sure they keep stats on how many are passed. So I'm sure on both sides we have some metric that says, are we doing our job?
Okay. So, cool. So how do you evaluate the partnerships between each other?
I think, are we supporting their testing? Are people passing with the materials that we provided? And then for us, are people coming in and checking out materials? Are we seeing airmen that, are asking for these resources and using them? Okay.
All right, cool. And then theme number 6. Equity and inclusion. This is the big buzzwords now. Have you introduced equity and inclusion into your partnership between the organizations, and how are they effectively accomplished?
I think it's difficult with this partnership to say that. We have different ways that people can access materials. So, if you had a disability, you can use your screen reader and download the stuff online. I mean, you could use different things, and I think there might even be some audio books that are available.
Different media.
Yeah, different media. If you had some challenges, honestly though, with this particular one, you wouldn't be in the Air Force if you were unable to see or
here.
Yeah. So it's for us.
Or walk.
Yeah, we mean
right.
We're a unique community.
Right, and then all the other stuff. So they also talk with us on the disabled person side. Then kind of, I know, I'll just kind of fill in the blank a little bit, but on the equity inclusion, they also, all the other
gender,
race, gender, et cetera, and we're probably the leaders because we're the government.
Right, and we're also, for the club in the SST, you're not going to see that. Maybe with our partnership with Storytime, where you would include materials that are, that stories that feature kids of all abilities, of all races, of all genders.
Right.
But it's study materials that there isn't that.
We're focused on that. Yes. Yeah. Everybody gets a chance to take a test, and it is included no matter who they are.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. To me, it's an easy. Yeah. Like I said, we're Air Forces. One of the leaders on that. So anyways, partnership transitions and endings. So is this an ongoing partnership, or does it have an ending date?
We hope it's ongoing, because if we end, that means I'm done out of a job, because our partnership is one that supports the mission of making sure our troops are educated and have the materials they need to pass their CCAF or whatever else they're doing. So it would be very bad for both sets of us if the mission were done. It'd
be bad for the airmen, because I know airmen do take these tests.
Mm-hmm.
How have your partnerships transitioned? So there's no really transition, because it's continuous, and it's the same partnership at every base, but maybe it works different, maybe slightly different at other bases, like McCord or something. But anyways, what happens when a partnership ends? No, this could be a hypothetical. So
for us, it would probably, like I said, it would be one of us would have to be done on the base. Like it would have to be one where, if our partnership ended with the education center, that would probably mean the education center was no longer here, or we were no longer here, because it is, part of the same squadron, it's part of the same mission.
Maybe consolidated to another base that's in the region.
Right. You could. There are some bases where their libraries are done. They just have gotten rid of them.
Is Camp Robinson like that?
I don't think they have an Army library on Camp Robinson. At least I'm not familiar with it, and I worked with the Army for a while in Hawaii, so but I'm not familiar with Camp Robinson having one.
So they'd come here then. So you see a lot of soldiers actually come here, or no?
A smattering, just a few.
Okay.
Not a ton.
All right. Well,
mostly retirees. If there's Army, it's a retiree.
Retirees, or people going through TAPS and then swinging by here.
Right.
Cool. So that is all I have. It seemed pretty straightforward. Do you have anything for the questioner?
No, I think that pretty much covered. That's pretty thorough. Questioning of the. And it isn't a partnership that's
and this
difficult to elaborate on.
So partnership is this the education center with the library. All right, and the library being the distributor of all the learning products for testing, and the education center being the person administering all the tests through the universities. Mm-hmm. All right, so this for the record, I know you said at the beginning, so then I hear at the end. So all right, I'm going to turn it off.